Hello and welcome to this thought for today. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. He was with God at the beginning, and through him all things came to be made. Without him no created thing came into being. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has never mastered it. You might wonder why I'm reading this familiar passage from the first chapter of John as we begin Lent, rather than at Christmas, when we would usually hear this reading. Let me continue. There appeared a man named John. He was sent from God and came as a witness to testify to the light, so that through him all might become believers. He was not himself the light. He came to bear witness to the light. The true light, which gives light to everyone, was even then coming into the world. The reason I'm reading this passage is because, following on from last week's lectionary reading from Mark's Gospel, I started thinking about the character of John the Baptist. He kind of jars in the middle of this rather wonderful piece in John's Gospel, with its echoes of Genesis and the very beginnings of time. And all of a sudden, here's John the Baptist. It kind of jars, bringing a sort of mere bloke into all of that incredible imagery. It breaks the poetic flow in a way, but I think there's a very good reason why John is introduced smack bang in the middle of this piece. And it's to emphasise John's origins against those of Jesus. John was sent from God, and we know from Luke's Gospel a little bit of the backstory about John's early life. John is the latest in the long line of men, prophets who came to witness to the light. A fine and noble tradition indeed, but John has a privilege over those who went before him. John not only witnesses to the light, but introduces the light, sets the scene for the light, and ultimately ritually drowns the light before it rises again. John knows that he is not the light. He's witnessing to it and he's reflecting the light, but he's not it. Jesus was sent from God. So what the evangelist is saying is, this is the light. He's coming from a different place. They're both alike. Both of them preached. Both of them came to a pretty nasty end at the hands of the authorities. Both were men. But one was just John. And the other had been there since the beginning of time, made everything that is. He shone like a light down the ages, and then we saw his glory. And where John came and bore witness, Jesus makes us God's children, and this is the crucial difference. Listen to John, but be changed by Jesus, and you will be caught up in a story from eternity, a part of the story of how the whole world is saved.